presidents and executive board members of Division 32 of the American Psychological Association, dear friends and colleagues. It is deeply gratifying to be honored as the 21st recipient of the Rollo May Award conferred by the Society for Humanistic Psychology. I regret not being able to attend in person today. I look over the list of previous recipients and count among them a number of long-standing colleagues and friends, including Eric Craig, Louis Hoffman, the late Brent Dean Robbins, and Kurt Schneider. While they are great company to be at table with, I am especially proud to be added to the group of fellow scholars and therapists who are Rollo May awardees because they include, as the third recipient of the award, Tamás Fazekas. While Josh and I had only a few exchanges of correspondence in the late 1990s, and so I cannot say we were friends, in the ethos of humanistic psychology, I consider him to, in a certain sense, tower above all of us who are among the third force in psychology, given the extraordinary breadth of his knowledge, the keenness of his intellect and critique, and his maverick wit. It is really not possible to classify him as belonging to a named group, however, but this is something I admire. That said, in addition to his uncompromising and penetrating questions, immaculate logic and basic common sense, and his incisive challenge to the mental health establishment, having been someone who attempted throughout his life to capture and limn the essential features of what it means to be one of those beings designated as human, places him, I believe, at the heart of the mission of humanistic psychology. He was fiercely independent, one of a kind, and an outsider among psychiatrists, psychoanalysts, and other psychotherapists, and even social critics. Someone who challenged the best to rethink the foundations of their positions and gain from the exercise. But I mention Josh too, because I have had a somewhat similar career. My work in Daseinanalysis, the approach worked out by the Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst Medard Boss beginning in the 1940s, has also been outside of mainstream psychology, psychiatry, psychoanalysis, and psychotherapy. Like Josh, for decades, I have been a solo act here in the States. It was a long voyage for me from continental philosophy and orthodox psychoanalysis through existential psychotherapy to Daseinanalysis, an approach to caring about fellow human beings that is still not well known here in the States, one which began by taking a radically new starting point for understanding human being as the ground for therapeutic practice. The renaissance of interest worldwide in Daseinanalysis in recent years has been both surprising and encouraging. It's my conviction, however, that it is at the frontier edge of our profession. Only time will reveal the extent to which the study of the history and principles of the approach will become part of the curriculum of those preparing to work as therapists of the word. Now, having retired after 46 years of university teaching and about the same number of years in practice as a therapist, I'm devoting my remaining time to making Daseinanalysis better known here in the States. To that end, 5 years ago, almost to the day of this occasion, I co-founded with an Austrian colleague the American Daseinsanalytic Institute in August 2021. I continue to teach a few hours a month for the Institute, conduct training analyses, supervise candidates, and write. Let me conclude by affirming my belief in the central place of humanistic psychology in the broad context of academic and applied psychology here in the States during very challenging times for all of us, and by offering some concluding words of gratitude. First, heartfelt thanks to Dr. Christopher Sethnes, who put forward my name to Division 32 leadership for consideration as a nominee for the Rollo May Award. Chris is in the next to last year of his preparation as a Dasein with our institute, and he will be one of the 2 first certificands of our program. He represents the best of who I think will have a powerful influence within humanistic psychology in the coming decades, especially by helping to make Daseinanalysis better known among you gathered here this morning. And now finally, a thank you to Dr. Jackson, who in April sent me news of the award, and to the members of the committee who have afforded me this honor, which I proudly accept. Thank you.